I hope. Hey, Purple Stars, welcome. I hope my picture is like clear and so my voice. So, as every session, confirm is my voice clear or not? Hey, Ron, give you some time so you would come and confirm me. Welcome, SJ. Alaikum salam. Did you done? Did you do your homework? I remember your comment on the community post. Salam alaikum, Lily. Welcome. Walaikum salam. Let's make a poll. Hey Anna, I'm actually doing better than the days before, but not completely well. It's great that you've finished your tuition. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome from Pakistan. Welcome, Lurhan. Everyone. Faiza, welcome. So, my voice is clear, right? Okay, this is good. I'm gonna give you some time to gather here while I check other things quickly, okay? Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome from Turkey, South Africa, Johannesburg, India. Welcome, everyone. Oh, okay. It's pleasant to hear that my voice is clear. I will just do things quickly and get back to you. By the way, I'm uploading at the moment of me speaking a new video in which I documented my story of catching the virus of hepatitis A here in Gaza. I've talked also about the healthcare conditions in the city or in the strip, like in general. Also, very important steps needed to be taken seriously in order to for us here in Gaza to have a better life situationship. So I really recommend you to save it or download it for later to watch it after we finish this live. And I hope it's okay. It's done. It got uploaded. That is amazing. So I hope this video would actually be spreaded widely to help my message, me and my peoples also suffer, be spreaded widely so people would have a better understanding and clarity. Anyways, so Now, let's get into our session, our live. How are you guys doing? How's everything going for y'all? For me, it's been like a really long time since we've had our last live. Like before we evacuated from here, maybe 3 months ago. Time just flies. And now, like, alhamdulillah, things are better, like shelter wise. We have a bit of settlement, or, like a bit, a bit of stability. So it's good from this situation, in my opinion. Sadia, please, Renda, please speak Arabic, no English. It will change everything for you miraculously. Interesting. What do you mean by miraculously? Because the language is only a way into getting my opinions through. And by choosing the language, you're choosing your audience too. Before, now, okay, now, like, this is awesome. YouTube automatically by AI, it would dub the video into many languages available at the moment. So this is a great choice, but before we didn't have this feature. So choosing a language for your content was basically choosing the audience for your content. If I would speak Arabic, I would definitely be highlighting the Arab audience. However, if I spoke English, as I am actually doing right now, I am opening my variety and making like opening doors for my audience to be as various as possible, because it's like a global language, etc. Have you ever been abroad for traveling before war? I wish. I actually have some stories about this. Well, before this, on July, I think, July 2023, my parents went to Egypt because my mom got Isaac and my dad had some, like, needed some treatments and checks for his health, etc. So they went on that trip to Egypt, and I stayed here with my siblings, acting like a good elder sister taking care of them. But to be honest, it was such an amazing experience, okay? Because I felt like, okay, I'm the parent. Um, it was also like the summer, so I didn't have school. So it was a great experience for me to learn how to actually manage between like my time for what? There's a problem occurring here. I actually don't know what is this. Let me show you something. Wait. I I've actually had this before, unfortunately, but I don't remember how we fixed it. So I'm gonna just show you it. Okay? Do you see hello? Okay. Do you see this yellow sign? What does this mean? I don't know. It's confusing me. Anyways, so during this summer time, I was was taking a course. It was in UX UI design. Okay, it was amazing. So I was going to my course. courses, then going to my siblings, sit with them, sometimes going out with my friends, etc. We weren't living alone, like it was at my grandparents' house, but to get the experience. So this was the first, like one of the travel maybe possibilities that I didn't have. But one thing still till the moment getting on my nerves. I had the opportunity to travel to the US. To the US? Yes. It was the YES program, the YES exchange program for high school students. Okay. I applied for it at the Amides here in Gaza, and I was getting my things like really good. I've got passed the exam. They give us like an English exam, and I was prepared for the interview, ready for the interview, but I needed to get like some papers signed or something. And my mom just said like, no, I cannot let her go. Like US is so far away from here and she's still young, etc. So I didn't have a chance. So so yes, I had not. However, learning English actually made me travel like in my mind. If you want to really learn a language, and I hear a lot of people commenting on my videos and my posts, like, how do you learn English? How are you so good? Your accent is amazing. I actually, someone here said this too. So, one of the best tips to actually practice while learning any language is to immerse yourself in the language. I'm learning English, so I'm immersing myself in the universe of the English speakers, which who are like U.S. citizens or Canadians, UK citizens, Australians, but the accent I am having is the American one, so I immersed myself into the American society or the American content, content creators, etc. Got me? So it made me think differently, thinking with their perspective. Got my point? If you've really tried this before, it is an absolute amazing idea because you would be thinking and having like multiple brains, unlike people who are only speaking one language. Got me? Snake, long live Palestine. Amen. Yes. Thanks for the support. I have an update I haven't told you yet. I actually recently was able to get my first paycheck from YouTube. And this was a big concern for people here. Were asking me a lot about this. Like, did you get it? And is it useful, etc.? Do we keep watching? Do we like watch ads, etc.? So now I can confirm yes. Loving the Matrix. Hello, welcome. It is not a Gaza live if it's not lagging. So this is like a verifying sign. Okay, let's see. Welcome, Anna. It's been a while. The is that you get well soon. Exactly. Yes. Um, I don't feel I have to state that health is the biggest blessing that you need to keep looking for and work on. I've told my mom yesterday about this idea, and it really just makes me mad. Look, I've seen it on social media. It said, you will choose your health, whether by choice or by force. Okay, looks cool. My point was that I told my mom is I have no chance. I have no opportunity to choose my health, like by my choice. And now it is choosing me by force. Let me explain. Now I got sick. I have to look for myself, okay? But for the other option, which is choosing my health, it's not possible because I am in a sieged concentration camp. Gaza is so small, like 365 kilometers squared, something like that. So small, so tiny. Thanks, Anna. Your support and generosity will be remembered forever because I remember you. On each video, I see you. Thank you so much. It's appreciated. Although you don't have to do anything of these, just watching is more than enough. Okay, let's get into the point. Yes, it is sieged. So, for example, like the good meal or the proper meal should have much of protein, little carbohydrates, lot of veggies. Let's take each item one by one. For protein, it's not available 24/7. Why? Because they do not want it to be available 24/7. So it's very rare. And if it was available, I can't like just plan my week. I say like for example, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, those 3 days would be for protein for I don't know, maybe 20 grams or something because we only know about protein being in the markets at the same day that we're buying it. And if we're late just half an hour, 10 minutes, it's gone. That's for or vegetables. The agriculture here in Gaza is completely destroyed. Why? Because the large places, the large pieces of lands that were dedicated for agriculture, for farming, etc., it is under their control, and we are not allowed to go back to it by any chance. If you even think that you were able to go anywhere by that place, you're gone. Am I getting into too much details right now? Anyways, so at the end of the day, my point is yes, I have no choice of anything, even my nutrition. Yes, not allowed to farm and not allowed to fish. That is exactly right. I actually am not really fully educated about the fishing situation, but like for example, how many meters in the sea are they allowed to go? But I deeply know that the amount allowed is not even possible, like for good fishing. Got me? You can search more about these topics, but yeah, I think I need to charge. Wait a minute. Bismillah. I guess I'm back. Welcome, Zay. May Allah Almighty help you overcome your hardships, sis. I mean, me and everyone who is suffering in this world. Of course, if they were good people. Okay, so what do you like me or us to talk about here? It's been a very long while, and I almost ran out of ideas or something. How do you prepare your food? By fire. I have, I guess, many videos about cooking in fire. So yeah. And believe me, waking up in the morning and want to make your cup of coffee, working for a complete half an hour, if not more, only to make your coffee is gonna make you just want to get out of this universe. Welcome, Ele, Eleanor, I guess. Welcome. Is your hepatite cured? Not fully. It's been almost a week. It usually gets like 2 weeks for people in my place, and sometimes it would be scaled up to a month for them to recover. So yeah, it depends on the body's strength, etc. Did you have any symptoms or major complications? Well, the most one that has been look. Let me get straight into this. Um, the symptoms or the signs for this is not like something new to yourself that would you would do that would make you think like, oh, this is a new disease, I'm feeling something different. But you would feel like major instabilities in your digestive system. So you would think it's just a normal thing. Hakiki, I guess, your name. Welcome. So you would think that your problem is in the digestive system. So you would go take a medicine and wait for yourself to cure. That was my case in the first 3 days. But on the fourth days, we started noticing the yellow in my eyes. Yes, it's not that like strong yellow as patients who are severely affected, but it is not white. It's not normal. So from that, we got the sign like, oh, this is not like a normal problem. It is something different that has to do with liver. I sincerely hope you get better. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your prayers. Lots of love, blessings from UAE expatriate. What does expatriate mean? But thanks for your prayers and I appreciate it. This is the first time I've participated in an actual live stream with someone in Gaza. It's quite shocking. I think it's important so that we can be more engaged on what's happening in Gaza. First of all, welcome. And I am so glad that you gave me and dedicated such some of your precious time to watch me here from Gaza. It is completely appreciable. And yes, people, I think, sometimes with like the big, horrible scenes that they see from our suffering here, sometimes get guilty to the point that they feel that watching, commenting, doing these things aren't truly like helping or affecting in anything the way they want it. You know what I mean? But it is actually very affecting. It is actually very important for people to watch us and to give us those kinds of support because these in the first place are the ones that helps us have a better living conditions, also helping spread our messages and be the advocate for our people here. Got my point? I want to try to turn on the light here to see if it affects in any way. Oh, I guess it's better, right? But I don't like the reflection of it on my glasses. Do I take my glasses off? Wait, it's been a long time. I guess it's better. I don't want my to hurt me, but I guess the lighting here is better, right? Wait. Uh, is it any better? I don't know. Long ago, a doctor saw yellow in my eyes and found high bilirubin in my blood work. In my case, it was nothing serious. If you could get blood work done, that might tell you something. I've actually done that. I don't know if the report is with me, but I've checked my blood and yes, I've got hepatitis. That's it. Wait. It's gonna be mirrored for you. Wait, like this. 17th of November is positive. It is positive. Okay. cyber wait cyber train. I've seen your Arabic comment. Thank you for the effort for getting me this recipe. Um, but because in we as hepatitis patients have high tolerance in our digestive system, so we must be so protective on everything we have. So I need to check and see if these things are available for me or not. Right now is 10:41 p.m. here. Hepatitis A. I have hepatitis A, which is the temporary phase. Thanks God, not the permanent one. Inshallah. Okay. Um, why I'm dealing with it as if it was like just a normal disease, because it is actually became normalized here, because it has been spreading widely among us here in Gaza before the ceasefire. Like it's been almost a year, for example. A year from now, my brother got this disease. So this tells you that it is still spreading and it's not over. So that's why I am a bit easy talking about it. Got me? Do you have any plans to rebuild? Well, you remind me of something. You remind me of something. I had many ideas about rebuilding here in Gaza, okay? Okay, wait, I need to take this off. And I wanted to share it widely because somehow no one is working the way it's supposed to be done, okay? So, first of all, for the rebuilding phase, number one, this cannot be acted by individuals. Why? Because this would not have any impact. And what I mean by that is, okay, let's define what an impact, in my opinion, as a Gaza civilian here. An impact of rebuilding here means all people have a stable shelter here in Gaza. Not any shelter. A shelter that protects them from heat, coldness, water, wind, insects, and any other unpleasant conditions. This is the first one, a shelter that is safe. Number two, a shelter that has power, whether it's a solar system or electricity system. I need to be able to charge my devices, even if it was a rainy day, and almost for free. Put it in your minds. Why? Because people in Gaza here, especially civilians, we had been consumed for so long, buying basics. We're just like, imagine the situation. It's the beginning of the Geno. Okay, evacuate. This place is not safe. Oh, took a bag of my pack and went by. Found a piece of a land on the street, bought some nylon, bought some wood, made a bit like a small tent. Okay? Winter came. Rain, wind, coldness, and sun heat, those nylon became weak. Mhm. Now I've got another evacuation order. I've took my nylon, took my wood, went into another place and paid for the transportation. By the way, this is the most important thing because many people weren't able to evacuate at many cases only because of the financial cost of the new shelter and the transportation to the new shelter. Evacuated, found a new place. Now, the nylon that I've took of my first tent became wrecked because when I took it, it's not the same. Got me? What is it? When I shredded, let me say. So now I have to buy nylon again, buy wood again, make my own bathroom. And if I evacuated, if I was lucky and took my things, okay. And if I was not lucky and I had to evacuate on feet, I had to buy another mattresses, I had to buy covers, to buy everything. Now, finally, I've settled down, had my place. Starvation came. No food, no anything, getting into the strip. But I'm hungry, and my siblings, and my people, and my kids are hungry. What am I supposed to do? Go to the market and buy 1 kilogram of lentils for 100 shekels, which is almost 30 USD. 1 kilogram of lentil costs 30 USD. Now imagine how much would 1 kilogram of flour be costing at that time? Okay, I'm not eating and I'm not having a shelter. Okay, let's just imagine that. I want to save my money. Hmm? Nah, 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 nah. Why? Because even if you wanted to call your family, you need to charge your phone. And to charge your phone, you had to pay money every single day. Okay, but charging a phone isn't a lot. Isn't a lot. Yes, but make sure that these money are being paid cash. What does that mean? Being paid cash means that you have to go into the interest system. You have some money in your bank account, but you have to get it out as a cash, so you have to pay interest. And in times of starvation, it would be skyrocketing more than 50%. So if I wanted to get $100, I had to pay $100 in front of it. So I would exchange $200 on bank online, transfer online with $100 cash. I could go on and on and on from now till the end of the week talking about the money consumption and the consuming that we had been facing here as civilians in Gaza. Okay? So now let's get into point number two, I guess. Why? Okay, this is interesting. Why do people use shekel instead of dollar or Egyptian pound or Jordanian dinar? Thank you for your question. First of all, we've had our own currency. If I'm not mistaken, it was the Palestinian dinar. I hope I'm not wrong because this is going to be ironic if I'm wrong. However, you have to understand something. If I am, God forbid, a colonizer, when I am going to occupy a land, I'm not gonna just occupy the land. I'm gonna occupy the culture, the language, the economical situation, and many other aspects. Okay, so uh, by forcing us into using shekel, which is their currency, it is it's another aspect of their colonization. because uh, they made like, I'm not really deeply researching about this, okay? But I know that we're not allowed to use those money. Why? Because if you went to any supermarket, given them the Palestinian dime, they would say like, we do not deal with that. Even in the like world currencies or something, it's not recognized. So this is another thing, okay? I hope my idea was clear. So yeah, they are not allowing us to have our own currency. However, we had before they came, we had our currency. But when they came, because they had power and they had support from powerful countries, uh, they were successful in preventing us from doing this. I would um, I would make it as a similarity to, for example, the French people when they not especially French, like French, Italian, like those powerful countries that went to South Africa, for example, and colonized them. The first thing they did is to prevent using Arabic, like the country's language, in deals and contracts, lawful contracts. Why? And they forced their language onto the society. Got me? So this is like a way that had been proven and used by many colonizational states throughout history. If you know history, you can understand my point. You always put so much effort into your videos. I really appreciate your content. Thank you so much for sharing. And thank you so much for recognizing this. Because thank you for recognizing it, okay? I know I spent a lot of effort. Like, I spent a lot of effort. No, but seriously, I know I dedicate my time to give you the best piece of content that I am able and capable to make in those circumstances. But it's not only because I just wanted to make the videos. It goes actually beyond those borders because for me, I don't want just people to see like, oh my god, look at this girl in Gaza, she's ambitious. Oh my god, look at her vlog. Oh my god, look at their suffering, their people suffering, etc. No, I want people to say, oh, look at this ambitious girl. She's a hard worker. She's doing her best, like despite all circumstances that are there. Because something gets on my nerves is that people forget that we're just as people as them. They just forget. They consider us as only numbers and just people in such a tiny concentration camp that we just are not sure what are they having or suffering from. I feel like when people used to say, for example, oh, there are kids who are starving in Africa, as if it's just like a normal thing. So I feel throughout those 2 years, like people would be saying, oh, there are people and kids suffering and but I'm not just a part of a suffering story. I have my own story. Got my point? Voice is very clear, accent is so natural, your grammar is good. You could for into any community with such a lovely voice. That's amazing. Would you like to take a course with me? I could be a great assistance. Yes, talking about suffering too much can also be incredibly dehumanizing. Hmm. I haven't truly like fully analyzed what you've just said, but what do you mean? You mean normalizing it is dehumanizing? I guess that's your point. I heard that the enemies are also changed the school curriculum in the West Bank. Do they also do the same in Gaza? Um, well, if I'm not mistaken, well, look, I have been cut of news for 2 years, so I don't want to say anything on my behalf that could be wrong. So I would search about it more and tell you. Okay? Okay, we were talking about a very important topic, which is the important points to be considered for rebuilding Gaza, and we've just stopped. Okay, we've talked about number one. Uh, I explained what does what what does what mean. It's not a video that I can go back and remember, but I remember that. Salam, Waving Flaw, welcome. But I remember I was talking about shelter. Okay, what's a good shelter? I said it is safe. It has electricity. Okay. Also, that has mattresses, covers, like all the basic furnitures for families. Okay, and this is the least you can do. You can't say like, oh, families just buy by themselves, because adding to the consuming that we've been having for those 2 years, you need to what does ta'weed mean? I don't know. Ta'weed in English, what does it mean? Let me see. Is there anyone understanding me in Arabic? I don't know. Wait. Compensation, I guess. Or indemnity. Yes, you need to give us that. Okay? We've lost our homes, we've lost everything, our dear ones, our neighborhoods, basically everything. Okay, finishing the shelter. Now, moving on. I've talked about the most basic human needs in the life that I've talked about Maslow's law. All right. So the most basic layer, which has the shelter, food, health. Now, for food, you need to give us or to grant us markets having variety of food, basic needs, which contains protein, vegetables, fruits, etc. And you have to make us independent about this. You have to give us our pieces of lands. You have to encourage us to rebuild and to redo our agriculture work as the era of before this general, okay? Because if we are not dependent, if we're not independent with our food, we will never be in anything else. This is the most basic thing, okay? Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Unfortunately, I don't know Arabic. I only can read Quran and do Salah. That's it. That's amazing. That is already amazing. Good job. Shabib Sadiq, I guess that's your name. Welcome. Okay, I've talked about the shelter, the food, now the healthcare. Healthcare, come on. It must be for free. It It's not that it should, it must be free, and it should be fully equipped. Our hospitals should be revived and rebuilt. Not only them, but also building new centers, especially UNRWA centers, because UNRWA, this thing just has like a great place in my heart. This organization has always been by our side as refugees. I've talked about it also in my previous one of my previous lives. Amazing. Its healthcare centers needs to be revived too. Okay? So after we have had shelter, also alongside the power, we've had the food, and we've had the healthcare. Now, moving on to the most important one. With those three, are you willing to guess it? I'm gonna give you a chance to actually predict what is the fourth and most important factor in those four basic life needs. Welcome, sulfur oxide. Guys, why do you have such complicated names? Welcome to Amplify Gaza Pupils Story. Come on, yes, education. Good job. How'd you guess it? How'd you guess it? Oh my goodness. I looks like I underestimated you. Of course, if you want any nation to stand on its feet, it is education. Right away. We need schools to be revived, equipped with all things like books, notebooks for their kids. I'm stressing for this very much. These notebooks, these books needs to be distributed, not sold. Like I mean by sold, some of the merchants here would have like contracts or something that they would get supplies from the outside, etc. So getting, for example, notebooks doesn't mean we don't want notebooks being distributed. And not only, listen, now when I'm talking to you, I'm not only talking about Rwanda's opinion or Rwanda's family's opinion. I'm talking about people in tents right now suffering under this rain who has been consumed during all these 2 years of Jano, who lost every single thing, has no source of income. Those people, and it's not just like small amount of people, it is the majority now. The amount of destruction is immense. Okay? Just keep that in mind. The people in this world that seek profit for any of these basic needs and rights are unethical and trying to hold things back. Do you mean the merchants or the government men? Welcome, Robert. Hello. Okay, moving on. The infrastructure, exactly. Especially water infrastructure. We need as many water infrastructure or water desalination centers as possible. These centers, these things are a must. Are a must, guys. I can't stress this more. And I am the most suitable person to talk about this. Why? Because as Randa, I don't live in a tent. I'm not near wastewater. I'm not near pollution. I'm not near rubbles. Those polluted areas, okay? However, I catched the virus of hepatitis A. However, I was not able to actually save or protect myself from catching those viruses. What does that tell you? That we have something more polluted than all of these, which is actually causing us 99% of our problems in this place. What is it? Water, exactly. Whether it's drinking water or using water, like water for usage. And I can't tell you how happy I am that when I'm telling you this, I can actually simply telling you that, oh, I've made a documentary about our water here in Gaza, which is surprisingly, well, I don't think surprisingly, but it is in a way that tells you more than 97% of Gaza water unfit for human consumption. Focus. It is unfit for human consumption. It's not that it's undrinkable or like polluted. It's unfit for human consumption. Like I cannot use it, for example, to wash my hands. Could you imagine? More than 97%. If you're gonna watch my new vlog after this live, you would see some shots for streets here after a rainy day. See, go to the video and see the views. You would understand what I mean by and the water infrastructure is a must. Services like water should be public and not controlled by profiteers or occupiers. Exactly. That's we're talking about normal human life, okay? At least, yani. The least you can do for a normal human life is to have a safe access for clean water. That's it. Please rest if you need, rest if you need breaks making videos. You are making such amazing vlogs. I can't wait to watch the next one. Thank you. I appreciate your concerns, but actually, I've been like a week or a bit more off because of like my sickness and it's I've just been getting better, so I felt the energy. You know, when you're at, like slowly getting better from a disease, and you feel like the power and the energy that just go through your veins. That's it, because my content ideas been stacking on my mind, and I'm like, I want to do them. I want to make them very soon. So, yeah, here I am. Water being good is so important on so many levels. It is needed in all aspects of life and being in good health. Definitely. Palestine is breaking free, inshallah. Inshallah. Much love from Belgium and Morocco. Thank you. Wait, I get this like semi comments like this a lot, and it confuses me because if you go through my like comments or something, a lot of people would be commenting, I love you, Randa, I love you so much. And I'm like, why? Why do you love me? You don't know me. I would prefer if you said, I love your content. I loved your video. I loved your work. I loved your dedication. That's great. Okay, there's a reason. But I love you. You don't know me. You don't know me. So we've talked about shelter, we've talked about power, we've talked about education, health care, water infrastructure. What else? What else do we need? Let me let me just imagine the stage that we have those five. Then I'd be at the like really understanding what we would need. Got me? After that, we of course would need our streets to be rebuilt, trees to be replanted on the sides, slowly, slowly, cars getting in, slowly, slowly. Now, when they give us shelters, those would be, of course, the temporary one. Approximately, you have 1 year to rebuild apartments for everyone who lost their things. I'm so excited. I'm getting so excited. If like the rebuilding had what do they call him? Like a community or mayors, presidents, whatever, I would definitely apply. I'm a good strategist. I think when we say things like I love you, they say that because you display and respect qualities we want to see more in the world. I hope it doesn't make you uncomfortable. It actually makes me uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, I don't know. I feel, look, maybe because I think of things differently. For example, I understand that people online are people online. Whatever they showed me, they could be intelligent, amazing, beautiful. This is only their online picture, online self. I know them? No, I don't know them. Have I lived with them? No, I haven't. Have I known like how they deal with people? No, I haven't. And here gets the thing that I do not expect, but I encourage people, especially my audience, because they are already intelligent because they took the chance and the decision to follow me. So I encourage them to actually think the same way. Deal? Deal. I appreciate your strength. You have a beautiful mind, and it's a shame that you are in such a bad situation. You deserve to have all the tools to study and become what you want. Thank you. And for studying, have I told you? I haven't told you yet. Wait. Now, I've told you before that as I've got 94.1, I am able to get enrolled into the medicine major in Gaza universities, okay? But it's quite challenging because medicine is like 6 years. So for 6 years, I have to be here in Gaza among all these destruction and rubbles. And it's also confusing because the rebuilding is till now not clear, okay? It does not have a strategy yet. It does not have clear timing, like a year, 6 months, etc. So this makes the decision harder on me. But for like, what do you call it? Like, I've done something extra. Like, for my last option, I've applied for dentistry in two universities, in Palestine University and Lazar University, and I've got accepted in both. Of course, I'm a very good student. They have to accept me. Okay. But till now, I haven't like completed the registration because I'm still thinking about scholarships and still having some peak of hope that I would be able to get out of the year and have a much better place to study in. So, yeah. Medicine is a great option for you. You have to be very studious. Congratulations. Thank you. But I've got accepted in dentistry, not medicine. Anyways, will I only stick to medicine even if I got out of here? Not sure. I'm still thinking about things. Look, I feel I have the logic, the argue ability to be a lawyer. Oh my goodness, being a lawyer, it's my thing. My thing. You want me to argue with people depending on logic? My thing. Come on. So I'm gonna be the best person to ever go into this school if I've ever went to, okay? Okay, that's for the first one. The second one, which is medicine. But the thing is, medicine isn't 6 years. Medicine actually is more than 10 years with like specialization. So, will I take the risk? Not sure. And for dentistry, for me, since like more than a decade, it's been the best choice for me. Why? Because it is so simple and clear. 6 years of studying, open my clinics, duh. Done studying, have my business, and ready to start anything else in this life. Isn't it great? It's a bit confusing for me. It's a hard choice till now, but for me, bless you. my, my father sneezed. Yeah, this is what an evidence that the environment is polluted even at my shelter. We need bright young people to make a better future at this point. Yes, that is completely right. I've told you at the beginning of this life how I'm immersing myself into the American community, for example, or any like English speaking community, and it looks like I've got really excited, not excited, but like they gave it a vibe when the new mayor came, New York mayor, Zoran Momdani. And the thing that made it click into the mind is the song. So hyping. And I started practicing it on my name. You see, like he said, my name is Mamdani. I say, my name is Randa. Randa. You know how to say it. It's such a so exciting. I feel I could also run for presidency. Is it presidency, the noun? But I feel I could be a great president for the state of Palestine. How does that sound? Oh my goodness. Please tell us some studying tips. It'll be helpful for any students in the audience. Okay, listen up. I'm going to give you 5 of the best studying tips I have had. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes, New York City elections was very exciting. I'm in New York, but in upstate a few hours ago away. Okay, that's cool. It would be head and shoulders above Agent Orange. You think so? Hmm. Okay. What is it? Yeah, I was talking about the studying tips. I'm gonna just give you those 5 things and go off because the internet is not gonna stay for so long, okay? So, number one, when you study, like you attend the class, okay, it's gonna be a bit different because I did everything on self learning. However, you, for example, if you attend school or any classes, that would be much easier for you. Great. So, uh, let's 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 say that you attended your class. Now you went back home. You've done your homework. Uh, I advise you to have a look on the lesson, but also summarize it on your own words. I wish I had my notebooks near me. I would show you. Make your own mind maps, your own summarizings with your own hands, okay? With your own style. That's number one. Now it's gonna probably take you some time. Now, this time isn't counted as studying, it is only summarizing. Great. Now, on another session, take those summarizings, those mind maps, and study them. This is called studying. And for studying does not like don't just okay, here's my papers, here's my notebooks, and let's just study, and then you stay all day long studying one chapter and you're not even done and you don't know who the writer is. Focus. Focus. Allah yabda alaykum. God bless you. Focus. When you're studying, dedicate a time. Give yourself a dedicated time. And I do encourage Pomodoro technique, which is 25 minutes of studying, 5 minutes of break. Or in my case, I would always prefer 45 minutes and 15 minutes break, 45 studying. Sounds cool. So, number one, summarize. Number two, study on the Pomodoro technique. Study your summarizing. Also, another tip on when summarizing the subject, you would also like you would do mind maps, but also I'd encourage you to summarize using Q's and A's. Q and A's. Summarize the whole subject with questions and answers. Like, for example, what? Let's talk about history. If you're studying history, okay? You don't say like, for example, nah, who's the guy who went to America? What's the name of it? Forgot. Anyways, X went to blah 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 on the date of blah blah blah, and he discovered blah 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 blah. No, this is not the thing. This is not, yeah, Columbus. This is not how it works. However, you would say, who discovered X? You write the answer. When did X discovered Y? What did X discover on Y? See, try to make or to write as many questions, as many phrases for the question as possible, because by that you would be training your mind to predict how the examiner would put the test for you. Understand my point? It is very, very, very helpful. You just do not understand. And on the day of the exam, you just cover the answers and see the questions. Oh, this is the question. Um, Question number one, X. Question number two, Y. Question number three. And you would find yourself answering all questions very easily and with no power, with no effort. So, summarize with questions, Pomodoro technique. Now, those on the normal days, okay? Let's fast forward to the exam day, okay? The night of the exam. I have two of the most important useful hacks. If you, first of all, you have to be focused on studying the main book, the main notebook, okay? You're summarize first of all the main notebook, okay? It usually would have some special notes at the side or some pictures for like organism. What's the word? For biology, for example, okay? Study everything. Finish the book. Now you would go for your summarizings, or in my case, I would do both. I would open the lesson on the book and study my summarizing at the same time. Okay, and it's not that hard because here is the question and answer. I would just like each chapter or each paragraph would have a like certain amount of questions. So I'd see the questions and then go to the paragraph, see if there is something I'm missing, catch them up. After that, if you had extra time, you would go to any like outsource books, extra exercising books. And because it's the exam night and usually there will be not as much time, I would encourage you to do 20% of the exercises on that book. And we've talked about the 20-80% theory on one of our lives too. 20% of the dedicated work on the most important questions would give you 80% of the results. So if you went into 20% of the extra books exercises, you would expect 80% of those questions like paraphrased in the exam. I hope it's clear. Just to clarify, when you say main book, notebook, do you mean the notes you yourself have wrote or the official textbook? I mean the official textbook, the notebook that you study, you take notes on at class, you're summarizing three things. Okay? So now, after you did all of this on the day, in the night of exam, you have nothing left to do. Do not tell me, oh my god, I'm stressing. Am I getting the full mark? What if I didn't get it? What if I didn't had the best exam? What if? Just delete all of this from your mind because you're simply just letting your efforts and energy going on something really unpleasant for you, and it's really like nonsense because even if you stayed worried and you've insisted those ideas in your mind, then what? Will the exam be easier? No. Will you get the best mark? No. Then just shut up and continue working. You finished that? That is great. That is amazing. Now, go to sleep. Please, please, on the night of the exam, never stay past 11 p.m. Why? Because while sleeping, the brain takes the time and takes the rest to preserve all the information you have taught yourself. You have studied. I've told them about it. Yes, he's reminded me about the 2080. Got me? And now, last but not least, it is the day of the exam. What am I supposed to do? Now, if you wake up early, in my case, when I wake up early, I would go online and see experimental exams for that specific subject and try myself. And believe me, I didn't do very well, okay, in those experimental exams because usually teachers try to do their best on experimental exams, making them very hard or making them very confusing, because they like want you to be fully prepared. However, usually exams would be much easier than experimental exams. That's my thought. Tell me yours. I'd be interested in hearing it. And this was my five of the most important tips I'm having as a high school senior with 94.1% here in Gaza. I think that would be a great video idea. But I don't have the energy, or I don't feel like it is interesting to make a video that's only full of me talking. I don't know. And this was it. Thank you everyone for joining. It's been definitely a great work, a great time joining with you all and interacting to give me a really good time. I appreciate you everyone for joining and hope to see you soon. I'm glad it is useful. I'm a very good teacher. That's right. See me in university. What would you like me to to what would you like to the I'm also thinking about being a uni teacher or a professor. Sorry, teacher is for young people. I want to be professor. Your grade is so impressive. It's helping me with work. Can I animate some of your videos? How? First of all, thanks. But what do you mean by animate me? Like animate some of my videos? You mean like making my videos in a cartoonish way? Interesting. You'd be a good professor. Any doubts? Of course. You will become one. Definitely, inshallah. Okay, glad to hear you from again. Hope you and your family are safe. Out of medicine, teacher or a lawyer, I vote lawyer because you're fair and smart. I'm a teacher. Ah, that is amazing. It's um, it's really interesting to see people having like already grown up and went into the fields you are confused between. That would give you a bit of perspective. And to like someone, like if you know, like for example, if I had cousins who are teachers, doctors, professors, etc., it would be more helping for me, because I know them. For example, I know their personalities, and I would compare. It would make that choice easier. Maybe you could start teaching online first. What do you think I could teach online? Interesting. If you have any ideas about teaching online or anything from the topics that we've talked about here, you can send me on Instagram. I'm a doctor, and I would suggest that studying medicine will give you a more stable life. Hmm. You mean financial side or financial wise? By the way, if you're a doctor, what is your specialty? What are you specialized in? You are very inspiring. Thank you. But okay. I don't know why it feels. Look, this is toxic. I want to say something. I'm a bit toxic because if you went through my lives, etc., and everyone would be complimenting me, I'd be like, "Oh, thank you," but I know, like, I'm not like just I don't want to accept compliments. No, I am good. Yes, I am powerful and I am ambitious. I am inspiring. Yes, that's right. But I am more focused on you as an audience more than me as a creator. Like for example, I as Randa, I don't really like fully attached to words and compliments and got me? That's why I'm not really just triggered by those words. What actually more important for me is mindfulness, having the great mindset, and I want you as an audience to get this message through. So I don't want people online to be like, "Oh my God, this girl is so good. She's just born like that." And I want you as an audience to understand that you can be that too, and also to always remember that this is the virtual uh, photo you're seeing of me, because trusting or feeling so attached to people online sometimes would get you. Like I sometimes would feel like, yeah, it's going somewhere a little too far until you realize that they're not even real like at the moment with me. I hope I'm not saying much complicated words. That's why I am ending it now. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate y'all.